the Feast of Dedications, which deals with our identity, our resistance, and the light that exists in the midst of Israel. A scriptural and historical essay by Azariyah Israel. Today, I want to speak about something that has been widely discussed, frequently misunderstood, often reduced, and in many cases, misrepresented. I want to speak about the Feast of Dedications, the military history, the temple, the menorah, the 7 verses 9 branch lie, and Yahweh Shai in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. Not as folklore, not as a seasonal tradition, not as a cultural artifact, but for what it actually is, a historical, national, covenant-centered event rooted in Israelite resistance, survival, restoration, and identity. This talk is about our people who were targeted for erasure, who resisted assimilation, who fought back, and who restored Yahweh's holy temple after it had been violently desecrated. And then we will discuss the very real figure standing in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. Part 1. Historical context. Why the Feast of Dedications exists. To understand the Feast of Dedications, we must first understand the conditions that made it necessary. In the 2nd century BCE, the land of Israel was under foreign domination by the Seleucid Greek Empire. Antiochus Epiphanes ruled with an agenda that went far beyond taxation or political control. His goal was to force cultural transformation. The Israelites were not merely conquered. We were targeted for erasure, similar to today. Our laws were criminalized. Our customs were outlawed. Our children were punished. Our worship was prohibited. Sabbaths were erased. Feast days were forgotten. The scriptures were tampered with. We were made to worship their gods. Elders were tortured and jailed for refusing pagan sacrifice and traditions. Faithfulness to Yahweh became a capital crime. This was not accidental. It was, as it is today, systematic. The goal was to erase Israelite identity and replace it with Hellenistic ideology and traditions. And the temple, the heart of Israelite worship, was deliberately profaned. Swine were sacrificed on the altar. Pagan idols were erected in sacred space. The holy place was desecrated. This moment represents one of the earliest recorded attempts in history to violently eradicate an ancestral identity. Part 2. The Israelite response: resistance, not compliance. Oppression always creates a choice: submission or resistance. For a time, many Israelites were forced into hiding. Others complied under threat. But there came a moment when submission reached its limit. That moment occurred through a priest named Maccabees. When commanded to offer pagan sacrifice, Maccabees refused. When another Israelite stepped forward to comply, Maccabees struck him down, killed the king's officer, and declared, "Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me." This was not impulsive violence. It was a declaration of resistance. This was the birth of the Maccabean Revolt. What followed was not a conventional army, but a disciplined resistance movement. Israelites fled to the mountains. They organized, they trained, they fought with strategy, not numbers. Judah Maccabee emerged as the principal commander. He led with clarity of purpose: restore the covenant, reclaim the temple, and defend Israelite identity. This was not rebellion for power. This was liberation for survival. Part 3. Military victory and the return to Jerusalem. Against overwhelming odds, the Israelites achieved decisive victories. They defeated professional Greek forces through ambush, terrain advantage, and discipline. Battle after battle shifted the balance. Eventually, Jerusalem was reclaimed, but victory alone was not enough. When Judah and his men entered the temple, what they saw was devastation. The altar was defiled, the sanctuary was polluted. Sacred objects were destroyed or missing. They did not simply resume the worship of Yahweh God. They first had to take down the defiled altar, remove defiled stones, and a new altar was constructed. Holy vessels were restored, and then something profound occurred. They resumed worship and rededicated the temple back to Yahweh God according to his law, and were commanded to establish this annual remembrance for all generations. This became known as the Feast of Dedications. Not one dedication, but dedications plural. The dedication of the altar, the dedication of the temple. the dedication of the people, all back to the Most High God, Yahweh. Part 4, why 8 days? Scripture tells us they kept the dedication 8 days, not because of a later pagan practice, but because dedication feasts in Israelite history were often extended celebrations of restoration. Second Maccabees notes that they celebrated in the manner of the Feast of Tabernacles, a feast that had been denied to them during years of persecution. This was restoration on every level: time, worship, law, identity. The Feast of Dedications was reclaimed. Listen to the second half for the finale. Welcome to the second and final half. Part 5, Yahweh Shai and the Feast of Dedications. Centuries later, the Gospel of John records something crucial. It was at Jerusalem, the Feast of the Dedication, and it was winter, and Yahweh Shai walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. This is not incidental. Yahweh Shai did not reject this feast. He did not distance himself from it. He did not condemn it. He was present. This matters because Yahweh Shai consistently corrected traditions that contradicted the law. His presence affirms that the Feast of Dedications was recognized, legitimate, and meaningful. It stood as a memorial of faithfulness under oppression, which leads us to this next point. Part 6, the menorah, the center of the light. Now we must address the central object associated with light, the menorah. Scripture is precise. The menorah commanded by Yahweh has 7 branches. Exodus 25 describes a single lampstand with 6 branches extending from a central shaft, totaling 7 lamps. Leviticus commands the priest to keep the lamps burning continually. There is no ambiguity. 7 lamps, 1 lampstand, divinely commanded. This menorah stood in the holy place. It represented divine light dwelling among Israel. Part 7. The 9-branch lamp is a later pagan addition. The 9-branch lampstand is not found in Torah. It is not found in the prophets. It is not found in Maccabees. It is not found in the Gospels. It emerges later, tied to a story about oil lasting 8 days, a story absent from Scripture. That does not make it historical fact, and it does not make it commanded worship. During the Feast of Dedications, the Israelites restored the 7-branch menorah, the only one Yahweh ever authorized. Part 8. Yahweh Shai in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. The final confirmation comes in the book of Revelation. John says he saw 7 golden candlesticks, and in the midst of them, one like unto the Son of Man. This is not imaginary. Yahweh Shai stands in the center of the 7 candlesticks. Not 9, but 7. This vision confirms continuity. The menorah remains a symbol of divine presence. Yahweh Shai is not separated from it. He stands within it. The light of Israel is not extinguished. It is in our midst. Part 9. The Feast of Dedications is our memory. The Feast of Dedications is not merely about the past. It is about remembrance. It teaches that identity must sometimes be defended, that the faithful may require being resistance. That restoration follows perseverance. It stands as a witness against pagan assimilation, against forced erasure, and spiritual compromise. It reminds Israel that survival came not through compliance, but through covenant loyalty. Conclusion: the Feast of Dedications is not minor. It is not marginal. It is not an optional memory. It is a declaration, and that in the midst of the 7 candlesticks stands Yahweh Shai, not as an abstract symbol, but as the Redeemer and Reconciler in the midst of his people. All praises to the Most High God Yahweh through the blood of our true Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Until the next time, I pray you found this essay helpful. Shalom.